Hello there guys, and welcome back to another video with myself, Foorun. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the perfect raid. Now today I'm going to be showing you exactly what you're going to need to take down all the building components I've shown you throughout the entire damage breakdown series in the cheapest possible way. Now just bear in mind that when you're doing this, you're going to be sacrificing simplicity by taking just a couple of raiding tools out with you to take a lot more raiding tools with you, which in turn are going to give you a slightly reduced sulfur cost, but it honestly isn't that much. Some of these will only give you a reduction of about 40 sulfur, some of them will be a couple of hundred sulfur, but none of them is going to make that much of an impact. It would probably mean that you'd need to farm an extra rock or so. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to completely destroy the building component in question, then I'm going to talk through exactly what I used and how much that's going to cost you. I'll break it down, I'll show you the first component, then the second component, then the third component if there is one, and then I will show you the total. Some of these will require a hatchet, and hatchets will not be included in the total cost of the raid, because a hatchet is a standard tool that you generally have on you at all times. So we're going to start off here, first off with our wooden building component. So for the wooden building component, first of all we need one rocket, which will cost you 1,950 charcoal, 1,400 sulfur, 180 metal fragments, 30 low grade fuel. Secondly, you'll need to hit it a few times with a hatchet, which costs 100 wood and 50 metal fragments. Next up we have the stone building component, and there is no cheaper way to raid this, so I'll just be showing you the cheapest. So the cheapest way to take out your stone building component will be 2C4. 2C4 will cost you 6,000 charcoal, 4,400 sulfur, 400 metal fragments, 10 cloth, and 120 low grade fuel. Next up we have a sheet metal building component, and once again there is no cheaper way to raid this, so I'll just be showing you the cheapest way that we've already found. So the same as the stone, sheet metal, the cheapest way to raid it is 2C4, and 2C4 will cost you 6,000 charcoal, 4,400 sulfur, 400 metal fragments, 10 cloth, and 120 low grade fuel. And next we have the armoured building component. So we're going to start off here with a couple of C4. And then follow up with 4 satchel charges. So firstly, the 2C4 will cost you 6,000 charcoal, 4,400 sulfur, 400 metal fragments, 10 cloth, and 120 low grade fuel. Then the satchels will cost you 2,880 charcoal, 1,920 sulfur, 320 metal fragments, and 40 cloth. So the total cost for raiding an armoured building component at the cheapest cost is 8,880 charcoal, 6,320 sulfur, 720 metal fragments, 60 cloth, and 120 low grade fuel. Next up we have doors. Now just remember guys, doors, whether they are a single door or a double door, share the same health and take the same damage. So we'll only be testing this on one door of each kind. We'll be doing this with double doors. First up with the wooden door, we have found no cheaper ways than ways we have previously shown you. So we're just going to go straight at it with one of those. The cheapest way is explosive 556 ammo. Now that cost 28 explosive 556 ammo, and 28 explosive 556 ammo will cost you 840 charcoal, 700 sulfur, and 140 metal fragments. Next up we have the sheet metal door. We'll start off by hitting this with a rocket. And then following that, we're just going to throw one grenade on the door. So firstly, the rocket. The rocket will cost you 1,950 charcoal, 1,400 sulfur, 180 metal fragments, 30 low-grade fuel, and the grenade will cost you 450 charcoal, 300 sulfur, and 50 metal fragments. So in total, to take down a sheet metal door at the lowest cost, 2,400 charcoal, 1,700 sulfur, 230 metal fragments, and 30 low-grade fuel. And then for the last of the doors, we have the armored door. Now once again, there is no cheaper way to raid this than ways we have previously highlighted, so we're just going to show you the cheapest way. Now it takes 2 C4 to take down an armoured door. 2 C4 will cost you 6,000 charcoal, 4,400 sulfur, 400 metal fragments, 10 cloth, and 120 low-grade fuel. Next up we have a ladder hatch, and we'll first start hitting this with a rocket. Now we're going to throw a grenade on here. And that is it. So first up, the cost of the rocket. It will cost you 1,950 charcoal, 1,400 sulfur, 180 metal fragments, and 30 low-grade fuel. The grenade will cost you 450 charcoal, 300 sulfur, and 50 metal fragments. So in total, the cheapest way to get through a ladder hatch will cost you 2,400 charcoal, 1,700 sulfur, 230 metal fragments, and 30 low-grade fuel. Now next up we have external walls. Now just remember that external walls and gates of the same kind have the same amount of health and take the same amounts of damage. So we're only going to be testing this on the walls. First up with the wooden external, and the first thing we're going to throw on here is 1 C4. Then we're going to throw on 1 satchel charge. And now we're just going to hit it a little bit with a hatchet. And there we go, the wooden external is down. So we'll start off with the costs from the top. The C4 will cost you 3,000 charcoal, 2,200 sulfur, 200 metal fragments, 5 cloth, and 60 low-grade fuel. The satchel will cost you 720 charcoal, 480 sulfur, 80 metal fragments, and 10 cloth. The hatchet will cost you 100 wood and 50 metal fragments, but this cost will not be factored into the total. So the total cost for the cheapest way to take down a wooden external, 3,720 charcoal, 2,680 sulfur, 280 metal fragments, 15 cloth, and 60 low-grade fuel. And then for our last building component of the video then guys, we have the stone external. So we're going to start off by throwing a couple of C4 on this. And then next we are going to throw on 4 satchel charges. And there we have it. The external stone wall is down. So we'll start off with the costs from the top. The 2 C4 will cost you 6,000 charcoal, 4,400 sulfur, 400 metal fragments, 10 cloth, and 120 low-grade fuel. And the 4 satchel charges will cost you 2,880 charcoal, 1,920 sulfur, 320 metal fragments, and 40 cloth. So the total cost for the cheapest way to take down an external stone wall will be 8,880 charcoal, 6,320 sulfur, 720 metal fragments, 60 cloth, and 120 low-grade fuel. So that is all from me today then, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have, then make sure you hit that like button. And if you would like to see more content, then make sure that you subscribe. You may be thinking this is everything in terms of the damage breakdown series, but I wouldn't worry there. I will probably get around to doing a flamethrower damage breakdown. This won't be included in parts of the final damage breakdowns, as flames are pretty inconsistent, but at least I can show you guys what a flamethrower does, as it is very effective against wood. We will also be soon moving on and starting the weapon breakdown, where we do exactly the same as what we've done in this video, except with weapons. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Aside from that, I hope you have enjoyed this series so far, and just remember that I will be updating any videos if they should need updating, so make sure that you keep checking back to see if any have been updated. So that is all then, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day.